Our next topic in Unit 1.4 is comparison between AC and DC power transmission system. Let us first look on DC transmission. In recent years, high voltage DC transmission is getting more importance than AC transmission for numerous advantages. The high voltage DC transmission has the following advantages over high voltage AC transmission. Number 1, it requires only 2 conductors as compared to 3 for AC transmission. Number 2, there is no inductance, capacitance, phase displacement and surge problem in DC transmission. Number 3, due to the absence of inductance, the voltage drop in a DC transmission line is less than the AC line for the same load and sending end voltage. For this reason, a DC transmission line has better voltage regulation. Number 4, there is no skin effect in a DC system. Therefore, entire cross-section of the line conductor is utilized. Number 5, for the same working voltage, the potential stress on the insulation is less in case of DC system than that in AC system. Therefore, a DC line requires less insulation. Number 6, a DC line has less corona loss and reduces interference with communication circuits. Number 7, the high voltage DC transmission is free from direct losses, particularly in case of cables. Number 8, in DC transmission, there are no stability problem and synchronization difficulties. Now, let us look what are the disadvantages. The disadvantages are: number 1, electric power cannot be generated at high DC voltage due to commutation problems. Number 2, the DC voltage cannot be stepped up for transmission of power at high voltage. Number 3, the DC switches and circuit breakers have their own limitations. In spite of many advantages of high voltage DC transmission, still now electrical energy is almost exclusively generated, transmitted and distributed in the form of AC because it has some advantages. Let us look these advantages. Number 1, the AC power can be generated at high voltages. Number 2, the maintenance of AC substation is easy and cheaper. Number 3, the AC voltage can be stepped up or stepped down easily and efficiently by transformers. These permit to transmit power in AC at high voltages and distribute it at safe potential, though it has some disadvantages. These are: number 1, an AC line requires more copper than a DC line. Number 2, the construction of AC transmission line is more complicated than a DC transmission line. Number 3, due to skin effect in AC system, the effective resistance of the line is increased. Number 4, an AC line has capacitance. Therefore, there is a continuous loss of power due to charging current even when the line is open.